Hello friends, I am Shravan and I welcome you in my channel JNANAM. Today in this lesson I am going to explain you about planning. Let's go and discuss planning and how to plan. As you might have heard, plan your work and work your plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Now let us look at what is planning. Planning is a systematic and orderly process that allows manager to determine what they want and how to get it. Now what actually you plan? You plan for goals and standards. If you devise certain rules and procedures and you forecast at set certain strategies and action to achieve your plan, how you actually plan? Let us see now how to plan. The first step in planning is situation analysis, both in internal and external. What we mean is that we have analyzed the micro and macro environment factors. A thought situation analysis is the basis of effective planning. It should be incorporate all factors that could potentially impact on your domain or area of operations. For example, you might have impacted by the micro-environmental factors such as political, economical, technological, natural, social or cultural factors, or the micro-environmental factors like the ability of your own organization in your own company to produce or provide the product or services, your supplier or your customer or even your competitor or in the market in which you're operating, its size, its growth and other things. These are some of the factors which you have taken to take into account when you go for planning. The first step in the planning to analyze the present situation. You have look at the past situation, historically what was happened, and the base on this critical or situational analysis, you know what is your strength and what is your weakness, what are your opportunities and what are your threats, as people call them. Some people call them as SWOT analysis and some people call them as TOS. The S for the strength, actually the internal characters that creates a competitive advantage, whereas the weakness are the internal weakness that need to be improved, such as maybe the turnover sales of operations or anything could be your strength. The internal, when you are talking of your internal, that is within the organization. Here the product could be your strength, your service could be your strength, and your distribution could be your strength, your production could be your strength, and your quality control, and similarly any one of thing could be your weakness also. What we have to do, we have to identify our strength and weaknesses. We have to look at the opportunities. Opportunities are the external and they require manager to take the advantage of them. They involve like a market trends, maybe a strong economy and maybe some promising customer segment coming up with the image of organization. The threats are external. The threats are those things, those situations that cannot control, company cannot control. They are not in your control. You may have to prepare for those threats which might be facing your company or your organization. That might include a poor economical situation or the changing demographics, or even technology could be a threat. Sometimes because in you having a old technology and some comes with a new technology and you cannot adopt the technology, cannot change what the new technology, then it might be a threat. Once you have done with your SWOT analysis, it will be easy to forecast and set your goals and objects. Once the goals and objects are set, you can develop your strategies. That is how you are going to achieve those goals. And the basic of those strategies, you can devise your actions or your tactics. What you mean by the action and tactics, what you need to do, where you need to do, when, who is doing to what actually we're doing is we are trying to identify the steps which are necessary to achieve those strategies and implement your actions to achieve the strategies or to achieve your goals and objects. But remember one thing, the strategies and weakness are the internal and they are identifying the internal company analysis, whereas the opportunities and threats are external. They are identified through external analysis. Now I can give you a general strategy that follows from this analysis and that utilize your strength. So here the utilization of strength to exploit the opportunities minimize or eliminate your weaknesses, and avoid the trash. This is a sort of general strategy. Now, let us see an example of goals and objectives and how they change at the different level and how the different keeping in a line with the corporate goals and objects. As you can see, the board of director devised. Now here, let us go through the mission. Mission. Our mission is to operate a chain of restaurants that will prepare and serve high quality food at time basis and reasonable price. Here, if you analyze this, there is a written important things here in this very simple statement. First thing, here we can note that they are talking of chain of restaurant, right? So it's going to be chain of restaurant. They have not to define any boundaries where they are going to operate these chain of restaurants, which is open. It seems they can operate the restaurant anywhere. Then they will prepare so high quality food. They're talking of high quality food. Now you can always imagine what high quality means as far as the food is concerned, and then on a time basis the food would be served at a timely basis and reasonable price. In view of this mission, the top management they set a strategical goal. What strategical goal the president have to set? They have set providing 14% returns in investment for at least 10 years, start or purchase a new restaurant, okay, and new laboratory contracts of this year. And these are the amendments of president and CEO. Now let us move to vice president marketing. Increase per store sales 5% per year for 10 years. Target and attract new market segments during next 5 years. Developing new promotional strategies for next year. Now let us move to finance. Vice President Finance. Keep corporate debts to no more, not less than 20% of liquid assets for next 10 years. Revise computer accounting system within 5 years. Earn 9% of excessive cash this year. And these are the amendments of Vice President. And moving to Restaurant Manager. Implement employee intensive system within 1 year. Decreasing waste by 4% this year. Hire and train a new assistant manager, and these hierarchies and the systems followed by the restaurant manager. And advertising director. Develop regional advertising campaigns within 1 year, negotiating 5% lower advertising rates next 5 years. Where implementing this year promotional strategies where the restaurant is advertising the products depending upon the market segmentation. And moving to accounting manager. Split account receivables and payable functions from areas within 2 years. Computerizing payroll system for each restaurant this year and pay all invoices within 30 days. As you can see from the example that the operational level of objectives already exist and they are mostly short term. Hence, the needs of extensive situational analysis might not be required at these levels. But however, to achieve the objects, the operational management need to develop strategies and actions. They need to specify the details how overall goals will be achieved. As this is a basic introduction to the management program, we can go into a deep discussion on planning. But I hope that this will be give you some ideas as how the goal and objects set and how they are defined by the downline or middle manager and the first line manager in view of overall goals and objectives of organization. And this overall plan framework is also applicable for an individual. You can also analyze yourself and identify your own strength and weaknesses and the outside opportunities and threats, and the genetic strategies will remain same. And as I said, utilize your strength to exploit the opportunities, minimize or eliminate your weaknesses and avoid threats. So, to help you further understanding the planning process, I am going to share some reading material that briefly describe the step-by-step process on career planning. I will add in my description. But at the last, I want to say planning. Planning requires analytical skills, forecasting techniques and decision-making skills, choosing the best many alternative future courses of action. So going through reading, it is going to help you out of further understanding the planning aspects or planning functions of management. So with this, I will end the planning part here, and thank you.